Hello, and welcome to episode 51 of the TechTeenth podcast, where Black excellence and tech meet. It's your girl, Janita.
I'm C. Jones.
And I'm O. Ricks. And I'm not shouting out 252 because I'm mad at them. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't like Henderson right now.
Listen.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that later. Like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned to hear why I don't like Henderson, North Carolina right now. But yeah. We're here, 51 episodes.
51 episodes.
Yeah. A year plus.
A year plus.
Month of June.
6 months in.
Over the hump.
Yeah. So June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
Yep.
We did have a self-sabotage episode earlier this month.
Yes.
Charles and I talked about the many ways he self-sabotages. All of how I never self-sabotage ever in life. And this today, we wanted to bring it back as we close out June. And just talk about how we, as men, are all struggling quietly.
So, just to kind of premise the episode too, like this episode isn't about making people sad. It's just like barbershop talk, right?
It is.
It's barbershop talk, and I know you don't get to go to barbershop much, but
Listen,
you're welcome today. Yeah. So,
But it's not meant to be sad. Some sad stats I got now about men.
But it is awareness, so we need people to be aware.
Yes.
And why is such a
that's why we're doing this.
Yes.
We're trying to bring more awareness, right? Because a lot of us suffer in silence.
Yes.
Men and women, right? We're talking about men, but all of us suffer in silence.
Yeah.
So we wanted to just bring light to some of the things that we've experienced, how we can help change some of those things, and how we can all just have a more mentally stable health awareness, all the good things to live a great life.
Yeah. So we're going to do a men's emotions matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. So first, we want to just talk about how men are struggling quietly and how we feel like us as men have to be the strong provider, carry all the weight, carry all the baggage for our family. And we do that sometimes without breaking down, without saying we're struggling, without calling out how we feel. I know I struggle with it a lot, not saying how I feel, which is what my therapist continues to coach me on, of expressing how I feel, and expressing how things make me feel, and determining the root cause of how those things made me feel.
1000%.
And I don't think that's preached enough or advertised enough, is that we need to have the area to the ability to share our feelings and emotions and thoughts without feeling like it's going to be met with like nagging and someone not really actually
So
listening.
that's why I say, like, in having that barbershop talk, right? You're having that safe space either with, people you confide in. A lot of times your barber is your therapist sometimes, right? People talk a lot of times to people because they're there with them every single week. But also, like, one TV show, The Shy, right? The one aspect I liked about The Shy is there's like a women's group or a men's group, and they actually talk about things that are going on in their lives, right? And they're just coming from the community, and it's a safe space to just share. And a lot of times, I don't think a lot of I'm gonna go, personally, I don't think a lot of Black boys have that safe space to share. What's going on at home, what's going on at school. A lot of times, even as parents, we don't provide that safe space, and that's what I actually practice and try to work on too. Like, I know I have my concerns, and me and my son, we kind of bump heads on certain things, but all in all, like, he knows that I'm here for him and I want to see him succeed. I just have to change my technique a lot of times. So I'm still learning and growing there. So it's awareness for me.
Why do y'all think that is? Like, where do you think that stems from, the fact that Black men in particular, don't have a lot of safe spaces? Like, starting young, right? Because I think we can say the symptoms of the world now, but like root causing, what do you think it is? I would say it's emotional programming. We are literally, from the very jump is man up. You're telling a 2-year-old, 3-year-old to stop crying. Like, it doesn't hurt that bad. Like, nigga, I just fell out of a tree. And I have never fallen in my life. Like, right? Like, also, this is the first time I felt pain.
Yeah, stop crying, toughen up, you'll be all right, So the lesson wasn't that we were processing emotion. The lesson was we were to hide our emotions.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. That's exactly where I was going with it. I was going to say, we're taught growing up to don't cry and man up. Which is instilled in us so early. We just bring that to us when we're adults. And I feel like a lot of us say I'm good when we're really struggling. And that's the part where I feel like we need to start overcoming and stop saying I'm good. Like when I hit up my boys and I know they're not doing good, like I know something happened in their life or whatever, and they still like, I'm okay, I'm good. I'm like, bro, it's okay not to be okay. I say that to all my friends when I know they're not okay and they say I'm okay. I'm like, it's okay to not be okay. So just express that you're expressing it and saying out loud is the first step, really just acknowledging it, because we all say I'm good or I'm not struggling or I'll be okay. And we're not most of the time.
Yeah, like functioning basically is not the same as being okay.
Exactly. So if I to your point, I tricked myself into doing something a long time ago. So if I come to you today, and I'm like, hey, how are you? What do you say?
Like how I'm doing today? Normally I give the overall. I'm doing
generic
good.
answer. Yeah. Everybody does that. So for a while, I think it was right after college, I stopped saying how are you doing. I would say, hey, are you happy? And people would be like, they would just kind of like freeze for a second, like, and I remember one time someone was like, I'm really not doing that well. So you have to change up the question just to kind of get a different answer. So it's just, let's for a week, just say, stop saying how are you doing, say, are you happy?
Yeah.
Change the question up in that greeting. So
Yeah. Dang, I like that question.
Really
are you
good.
happy? I'll start asking that. Yep. What are some of the things we feel like men don't say out loud, but we know that they're struggling with internally, or that they should be saying out loud, to friends, to family, to therapists, to mentors?
I mean, I can tell you some things from at least like a woman's standpoint, being in relationships with men and even seeing or even having just like seeing my dad, things like that, is I think the struggle with having to be a leader before you know how. Or like being the head of a household or being the one who's supposed to like guide. And it's like, I've never guided anybody anywhere.
Or had anyone show me.
Right. Or had anybody to show me how to guide. Right. Like absolutely no shame, because single mothers do what they can. But there is something to be said about, hey, if I've never seen a male figure lead a household, how exactly could you be the best candidate, right? A little bit into that thought of no one's hiring the dumbest black person in their organization. But unfortunately, we might have some really ill-experienced people leading a household and they don't have the outlet or the person to say, hey, I'm feeling pressure of like making sure I keep my job because I've decided to tell my wife she can't work. And now that's a lot of pressure that's just baking under the surface. It doesn't even have to be something, as extreme as like how to handle, my emotions or things like that. It's literally just, I have to provide and there are layoffs happening. And now I am terrified. There's this underlying anxiety.
There's a lot of pressure, again, to be the provider, to be the protector, to be the leader, to be the problem solver, all at once, right? So it's and people, a lot of times, I feel like with all of us, we are leaders in our households, we're leaders in our community. So like people celebrate our strength, and I get it all the time, and people, they commend me for always being the one to reach out and stay in contact with people and making sure people are doing okay and getting what they need to.
He's
right?
great at that.
Yeah,
I swear he is.
Where like some people may look into your cup to see if it's overflowing. I'll look into your cup to see what's needed, right? I want to be able to pour into others, but it's few people that actually will check on you. I think Otis does a good job of that just because of who he is and the training that he's had, and I would say training practice, just the energy put into just bettering yourself, so you can pass those points along. But being everybody's support system it's exhausting. So
100%.
It's very exhausting, and a lot of men are struggling with being the provider and not being able to say they're struggling. Like, how many times have you heard a man say, like, I'm financially irresponsible?
Right.
Like, if you're the provider, how many times you say...
I tell myself that a lot.
Same, bro. See, we say it to ourselves.
Because you do it, and then you're like, oh my God.
Yesterday was one of those days.
A couple too many bottles.
You look back and you're like, God, I ain't have to do
That's self-talk, right?
Yeah.
So, but I've never said that to any partner I had that actually... Yes, I did. One young lady I did say it to, and I felt very comfortable and safe to have that conversation with her. That I, at that point, I had some debt and stuff, and I told her straight up, I got this debt or whatever.
Ooh,
so
I got a question because you brought up, relationship. Okay. Actually, you did, but has there been a time where you've used a piece of information against a man that he's told you in a safe space?
No.
Because women do that.
They do. That's why men don't.
There are a lot of things.
You asked the question. That's why I brought it back.
No. Because they're regardless of gender or my emotions around it, I am not a tit for tat person in my nature. I don't find it to be really good. Like, to me, there are parts of my character I'm just not willing to go after. And I don't throw things that are very clearly vulnerable because I don't tend to evoke a lot of emotion for people I don't care about. And so I recognize that me trying to weaponize something someone said, the only time I could see myself doing it, and I haven't, is if I'm already decided I'm never talking to you again after this moment. But I don't see the value in hurting somebody that you love or that you care for, even if it's, unconditional, like family or just friends that I've had for years. Like, you guys have told me, I would never be like, well, that's why that tells me you don't want to be, you don't want me to be in your life anymore. And so I don't know. That's just my personal thing.
Yeah, no, I was explaining the other day around, like, things that I feel like a lot of my female friends, they accept things from men and then they complain about the men later. But it's like you let that kind of come into your life, that energy and the access to them, right? Then when they are now showing up at your apartment or stalking you, and I hope they don't hear this episode, but they do. But it's like, stop giving access to everybody. Because again, going back to the emotional intelligence conversation we had a couple of weeks ago, a lot of men don't have emotional intelligence. So it only impacts their mental health. So when they crash out or go do crazy things, it's like, they didn't have any of the tools to get out of the situation.
I mean, listen, there were always a lot of things about how women can't be president because we're emotional, but men take us to war. Men take us to war.
Count on how many women have taken us to war in the world, ever.
Zero. And men have fought wars over women. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I think there's a lot of work that we can do, obviously, on both sides of this, like, gender talk. But when we're talking about men, I wonder where we could go if men had safer places to express, right? Or even be able to emote out, that it didn't end in violence or strife, or even when you just decide to, like, hold it all in and isolate. That's the word I was looking for. I'm curious where some more healthy discussion could actually lead.
I think you brought up a point about having the right tools, right? And men historically don't seek out mental help. So therapy or any men's health groups.
That's just historic.
Right? So I looked up this stat. Only 40% of men, about 41% of men receive some type of mental health treatment, whether it's therapy, safe spaces groups, men groups, or whatever, compared to almost 60% of women. So you see women been going to therapy, women been taking care of their mental health. We're still trying to catch up, but I'm glad to see that at least 41% of men are starting to get mental health treatment, because it was looked at as taboo growing up for us, right?
If you went to a therapist, though.
A lot of times it is.
My dad just said it. My dad just said it. We were talking at dinner, and he was like, so he was like, somebody had said to him in the past that he had PTSD because he was in the army and stuff. And he was like, I don't have PTSD. I've never went to a psychologist. And I was like, dang, bro, what's wrong with going to? He's thinking psychologist like he's schizophrenic or my boss. I was like, nah, bro.
You didn't watch the movie The Birds Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I'm like, no, it's okay if you actually did have that. Actually, it's okay if you do have PTSD. You went through a very traumatic experience.
1000%.
It's not it's not taboo that you might have PTSD from a traumatic experience and needed help, seeked help, got the help, and became better. You know what I mean? So I'm like, don't look at it like it's taboo, but that's how we were raised. That's how in the Black community, therapy has always been looked like, it historically been looked at as something like, you crazy if you go to, like, you actually
or
mentally
you're weak.
Crazy.
Like, you can't deal with what life has thrown at you. Like, we were out in cotton fields. Get it together. Like, what's wrong? You know what I mean? Again, the diminishment of your emotions. A lot of trauma
is embedded in us and in our DNA. But there's so many other factors than therapy that you can go to, right? Yes, therapy is the professional way to, seek help. But you have, honestly, people have been trusting the Bible or their faith in any religion for thousands of years, right? But again, having that strong community, what I say, I always laugh. It says, I can't use this one, but it's like, it takes a village to raise a child. But what if that village is all stupid, right?
Dang.
I won't say the
Yeah.
But I feel you, yeah.
But yeah, mentorship. You know, I think all of us have embraced mentorship, sponsorship, having those people that'll pull us along, whether it's coaches, just friends, even family members can mentor you, right?
Yeah.
Exercise.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times where those days where I don't feel like doing anything, I'm just down. I'm just go to the gym. If I still don't want to be there, I'm glad I went. You know, there's still some small piece of that. I'm glad I came here.
Yeah.
And again, journaling. I know you did it a while.
I journal every day. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, I journal every day. I journal every day. Dang, I keep forgetting to bring my books. I got books for this. I actually got so I just journal what I think, right? Like most people. But the prompts, I've been trying to get into the prompting journaling, so I kind of think outside the box. I actually bought a book, manifestation journal, so it prompts you on different manifestations, but it's also a shadow work journal. Dang, I should have brought my journal. Shadow work journal, they ask you some very, very deep questions about you, your life you want, the life you want to build, and the life you have, and just trying to reflect. Yeah. So, it's on Amazon. It got a black face on it. It's actually for black men. Okay. So the manifestation journal and the shadow journal are both. It's a two book set that you can order separately, but it's for black men, and it's specifically the questions are as a black man from a black man. So, like you said, there's so many other resources outside of therapy.
Yeah. And I like, one thing about I like storytelling, right? I love storytelling. So I love a good movie, I love a good book. But what I love for us and just people in my circle to do is just to write down things about people. So like say you're going to turn 40 in a couple of years, right? So I plan to have
a few years.
Yeah. So, but in that midst, I plan to write things down like about Janita, what I've learned about her the past. At that point, it probably like 15 years of knowing you. Like I just think like taking the time to do certain things. And I did it for my niece. I hosted her graduation party. So shout out to Zara. She's going to North Carolina Central next year.
Hey, Eagles.
But I wrote this whole speech for her, and even in the midst of reading it, like it's still I got emotional. And it's like, I can't cry right now, because I got to continue the speech. But I'm like, I wish I could have, but I just couldn't, But like, I know there was so much built up that I just wanted to speak over her, So I love that girl.
I think another tool or solution to help overcome the not having safe spaces is creating safe spaces with the men you talk to all the time.
Yeah.
Men, we can easily get together and talk about sports. We can talk about women. We can talk about drugs and alcohol. We can talk about movies, but we don't get together and just talk about life. So my therapist actually put together a men's kind of men's day, right? Where it was probably like 25 of us. None of us knew each other. We were all his clients, and we just talked. There was no agenda. He kind of led us in the right direction a little bit, but it was really no agenda. We all just got there and started talking about our lives, our relationships, work. All of us feel like we were living the same life in some aspect or another. Like some guys just got engaged. Some guys just got divorced. Some guys just got into a relationship. Some guys are, newly single from being in a long-term relationship. So everyone had a piece of the way that their life was set up right now. Someone else felt that and resonated with that. And it was a safe space. So once we kind of opened up, everybody opened up like, my wife ain't shit. I'm like, yo, I want to divorce her. And then the other guy's like, I just met the love of my life and I'm about to propose to her. And then another guy's like, I'm never getting married again. So it was just like, it's so many different perspectives. But it was so dope because I never met these men in my life. But we all connected that day and a lot of us got each other numbers. We've stayed connected.
That's good.
We've helped each other with our businesses. Matter of fact, one of the guys told me, he was a friend of my ex. And my ex introduced me to my therapist. He was the person who introduced my ex to the therapist for me. So he was like, I know you. He was like, I know your name or something. He was like, did you go just a day such as I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm the reason you know your therapist. I gave him to her for you. I was like, bro, I owe you. You wouldn't even know. That was like I never met this man in my life. So then he tells me, he's like, yo, so I told God, I wanted my life to be like a romantic comedy. So I started watching romantic comedies. This is what he said. I watch romantic comedies every day. Now I have my wife, my new wife, and it's a romantic comedy in real life. So speaking into existence, man. But having that safe space is very key. Like if y'all could talk to your boys about sports and LeBron and the Knicks winning the championship and where y'all going on the next trip to Colombia or Panama, y'all can talk about your mental health. You can talk about things that you feel like are important in your life. You can talk about things that are going wrong in your life. Like I feel like we should be able to open up to each other and be able to have a safe space with each other. It don't have to be this professional therapist.
Yeah, I agree. And I had a friend challenge me, a really, really close friend challenged me about something last year, right? And it almost tore our friendship apart. Like, you know, just because like we didn't see eye to eye on one thing that was very, 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 you know, important to him and important to me at the same time. So communication can affect certain things. You know, like say dating, marriage, parenting, friendships. But yeah, so to your point, I do feel like we have to challenge each other more. Even that mental health, that mental awareness, challenge them to do better.
Yeah. What's interesting too, and the reason why I think sometimes people have to have these conversations more than like the gender war conversations, because I will say as a woman, like sometimes my message to other women is like, hear this when guys say they don't talk deeply to each other. They don't have places that they talk deeply, and take that into when you're like, you ain't think about this, and they say no, they didn't. Because they haven't had the opportunity to work the muscle that we do, where we get to be extremely emotional, where we get to be emotionally considerate. It doesn't mean that men aren't considerate, but they're logically considerate. They are provisionally considerate, but having that emotional consideration takes work and takes time. And I think there's a lot of like apprehension for men to do that because sometimes it can result in, well, the one time I was trying to be emotionally available or open up, that 6 months later or maybe the next week when you got mad was weaponized because, hey, that was the one time I opened a door and now it's shut forever. And so I think it's certain things like this that we need to have different like gender conversations to actually say, you know, in no pick me way, ladies, but just like you got to have a little bit of patience on certain ends, or just believe when people are like, yo, I just didn't even think about it.
Yeah. And we're good on time, y'all. Just,
okay, cool.
So whew, this is a lot, man. I want us to just help our brothers. That's all I feel like. I just want us to start helping our brothers because we go through so much. I swear we go through so much. And we always try to be the strong man, especially black men. We got to be the strong black man. But like, strength doesn't mean the absence of pain. Right. Just because you're strong don't mean you ain't struggling and you ain't in pain. So I want us to stop confusing with being strong with the fact that there's nothing wrong with us. Like I feel like when, just like when you said, you ask somebody how you doing and they say I'm good, and we always ask, are you good? And they say I'm good. It's like, nah, let's dig deeper. Like, so it could come back to us, just how you communicate with your friends, right? If you know your friend's not doing good and you letting them keep saying I'm good and keep letting them go around acting like they're good, like hold yourself accountable to be a better friend and say, I know my man ain't doing good. Let me check on them, right? So it's just, it can be on us sometimes too to just try to help our friends open up. It's hard for us as men to open up, so even to our closest friends.
I mean, it's on us not only as friends, but to be honest, as parents, where it's like, hey, how are you doing that? And it doesn't mean you have to be perfect, because I even find myself sometimes like, Bri, it's not that deep. You should not be crying about this. But it's like, she is 8. This is her world. And I'm telling her that she needs to minimize how she feels about something that is a big deal in her world. And just because it doesn't matter to me, or I have more life to see a bigger picture than, yes, you got the same surprise doll 2 times in a row because they're surprises, you know? But it's like, for her, it is a big deal. And like, finding ways to not perpetuate things even in the smallest ways.
How are you as a father of a black teenage son?
You know, I think a lot of it is, you know, we pass down generational traumas. I was speaking about it in a different way earlier. But, you know, a lot of times I've been trying to raise this little boy and prepare him to be a man versus like just raising a man. But I'm trying to prepare him for the world. So my viewpoints of the world, you know, to Janita's point is, you shouldn't be worried about this so much. You should be focusing on this. And like, I'm trying to tell him and guide him so much. And I've kind of pulled back a lot in these past couple of years. I'm like, you know what? He'll figure it out. Right. So again, I'm still going to put him on this road or this road. I just want you to just go at your pace, you know, at this point. So again, I just need to learn and just be comfortable being himself, be confident in being himself. So he has to find his own way. So he's getting that now. Like, I've given him some tools, and now he's really starting to pick up on that stuff. But it's been hard. And being a dad is tough. And I would say the toughest part about it is the constant conversations. You have to talk to them every day.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Bro,
That's bad because I don't like talking to nobody every day.
So again, like, being at work all day in meetings, right? I'm driving this conversation. You talk about being a leader. I have to put on this cape every day when I go to work. So to be that person for other black men in the office, other black people in the office in general, right? Being that one leader that we have for the entire company. So I do wear a lot of that pressure to be successful, black excellence, because I am setting the bar, right? And I want them to step over it. But then it's like, okay, well, we have what happened to school today. You and your friends, what are y'all doing? What are y'all talking about? What are you interested in? What camps? What sports you have to pick up, drop off? So it's a lot. That's a lot of, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. And it's like, you do something crazy, I'm going to look at you like the crazy now. And then my words are like, you know what? I can maybe say something a little bit more articulate. I'm going to just cuss right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying I'm tired, leave me alone. Words matter, man.
Listen, but that's
expressing how you feel.
I do
to your point.
Get out my face.
Yeah.
See?
But I don't think that to that end, though, I think I think it's okay to be human and have your kids see that too. But what I will say, maybe my tip out parent to parent that I've urged my friends actually of little black boys specifically, is do some research when your kid turns an age and understand just what chemically, emotionally, and mentally their capacity is at in this coming year. Because I think, at least for me, that centers me a lot in okay, for instance, one of my friends has a 3-year-old son. They have no impulse control. They can know something is bad, but they have no impulse control at all. So where it's that's why they call it sometimes terrible twos or terrible threes, is because within that time frame, they have no way to stop themselves from doing things, even if they know it's wrong. Their brains they are not synapsing fast enough.
That's what
and so even understanding, they look at you and then they do it anyway. It's actually not, oh my gosh, I have this hellion on my hands. Yeah. They know it. They're looking at you because they acknowledge it in their body. So sometimes knowing that too can help you just have a little bit more patience, where it's like, hey, at 5, no, they know. Now you know this is when you discipline. Now you know this is when you're whatever. But that's one of my things is I hate seeing people snatch up toddlers or get in their face or talk about hitting their 2 or 3-year-olds because I'm like, chemically, they aren't there to know better. They really don't. Even if they do it every day, they can't do it.
Yeah, funny story, and I hope my mom hears this. I didn't deserve that whooping.
We don't want to go there.
We definitely don't want to know this. I got some stress whoopings in my life.
I didn't deserve that whooping when I blew up the car. It wasn't my fault.
Oh my God. Yeah, now you're tripping. I'm on your mom's side.
You definitely deserved that.
I'm on your mom's side.
See trauma.
You blew up the car.
Why did you talk to me?
Oh, you blew up a car for real?
No, bro. So, all right, we're gonna have to do a commercial. Story time. So, I don't know. I might be 8, 9 years old, bro. I was. My dad told me he was going to my cousin's house, so I went to go hide in the backseat of the car. Hey, Dad, I'm here too. And I'm like, why not just ask? Can I go with him? He never came outside the ghost. I'm in the car for a while. It's a lighter in the back seat. Oh, this is the time where people used to put seat covers over the seats.
Oh yeah,
them things are flammable.
Yeah,
who knew?
Yeah.
So, and I was a little heavy back then. So I ran in the house. I got a cup of water, a red Solo cup, poured it in the sink, ran outside, hit it, went in the house again, hit it. 3rd time, I looked at it. I just went in the house. I just got under the bed, just waited. I said, they're going to beat my ass today. The neighbors came next door and said, hey, y'all car on fire. And it was engulfed in flames.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
that happened fast.
This vividly, bro. This is.
Yeah, that happened fast.
They said even that
I never heard this story.
They said, they didn't even have to ask who it was. It was like, where he at?
Where he at?
Where's he at?
Doing some minister shit.
Listen, this is why.
That's problem child.
I didn't have whooping. No, I was a curious child. But I didn't win again. Why did you have light in the car? You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. No accountability at all.
I need to break it to you.
No.
Yeah, that's wild. I have a funny fire story too, but not like that. I got a whooping for I just lighting the fire. I just took some matches and stuff. And, don't play with fire. So now I'll see why he was like, don't play with fire, because could have ended up like Charles. But but I don't have kids. But I have nieces, nephews, godchildren, and my young black boys are going through it too, man. They have a lot of pressure. They got to deal with schools. They got to deal with racism just like we do. Social media pressure, you know what I mean? Safety concerns. They go to school shootings are still a thing. Mass shootings at schools are still a thing. So every day they got to think about that, right? And just the expectations to grow up too fast, right? Sometimes they, like y'all said, like they just don't think like we do because we're adults, and they just take a little longer to process, right? Or a little bit longer to react, or a little bit longer to do something that we asked them to do. And they're struggling with a lot.
So, because I just heard this morning at brunch with my niece. So, again, we talked about drugs last episode and Amsterdam and everything too, right? So we didn't think about the aspects of drugs and how that plays into a part of mental health either. Yeah. So I do know kids nowadays are doing more pills or doing more lean because it's more so like, if they can have access to it, I have access to it, but you don't. So it's like, because back then it was weed for us, it was illegal, right? So it's hard to get weed, but if you had it, you might be a little bit cool, I guess. But now it's like it's the pills and the lean.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
I forget the term.
And edibles. I know a lot of the teens that they edibles is just
so that's
thing.
why I don't really care about. That's another episode about legalization of a lot of drugs because again, it just access.
We talked about this. That is a whole nother. We do need to bring that up. We had a deep conversation about the legalization of drugs and its impact on kids, and I was like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, no matter if it's legal or not. But so our kids are struggling. We know y'all struggling. We're here for y'all.
And the number one cause of death for anybody under 50 is fentanyl. Number one cause of death.
Yeah.
Not heart disease anymore.
Wow.
Fentanyl,
number one cause for people under 50.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people go into drugs for things to escape. Yeah, the emotions, which goes back to the importance of supporting each other through and being able to articulate and tap in and understand your emotions, like the real ones of like, over time, even for me, because I understand some of the pressures, it's like, you don't want to nag, but if there are things that I'm like, yeah, this really doesn't make me feel good, I do my best before I bring it up in relationship to start with like, hey, I miss you. Or hey, I want to spend more time with you. And then get into some of the things of like, hey, these things have made me feel like maybe that's not reciprocated. Or, maybe there isn't a thought of how I may want to spend time with you or whatever it may be. And I think that's a lot of where we can do better. So as we're talking about like all the things, what do you guys think it is that needs to change?
Back to my earlier point, just having the more safe spaces that we can lean into that are not therapy. That was your point too, like the journaling, the exercising, even the exercising, right? There are run groups, there are CrossFit groups, there are all kind of groups that you can join. And a lot of us are going through the same thing, right?
1000%.
So you don't have to struggle alone. There's safe spaces that fit what might work for you, because therapy 101 might not work for you, run club might not work for you, journaling might not work for you, but there's something out there that you can have an outlet to get help yourself.
And I said this to my niece. I said one thing she has to be proud of, or she's not maybe aware of yet, is she has the privilege of a big family. I didn't realize how many people don't have families.
Yeah,
like going.
I have a very small family.
Yeah, so it's just like people didn't grow up with their grandmothers. So I'm like, we got dropped off for weeks.
Yes,
like
the whole summer.
You had to write. I had to write letters to my mama home. We couldn't even call. She wouldn't let us call.
He was pen pals with his mom.
Like, leave me alone.
Like, say, I'm at grandma's house. She had a phone right
you burned her car, so I get that. I wouldn't want to talk to your ass either.
I would have grandma's house.
Yeah. Boot camp, boy. Outside all day.
I hated grandma's house growing up. She had air conditioning. Oh man, God.
But it made you a stronger man.
It did. You're right. And I still remember those summers.
So I will say just your family, whether it's friends, turn family, and family turn friends, or, that's
your faith. Church, pastor, mentors, deacons, all like there are people in your church if you are into that, right?
Hell, your neighbors.
Yeah.
I talk to my neighbors a lot.
I talk to mine too. We sit in the driveways some days. They come over and have a drink. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Because they can resonate what's going on in the neighborhood, right? They might not resonate with being black in America or whatever's going on in your life. But we can talk about, man, the HOA on some bullshit.
You know what I mean? You have different points of connection across different things in your life, for sure.
No, it's good to have somebody to, listen to you, just out the bullshit, so I
think what else can change is just keep checking on us. Please keep checking on us. We might be the strong providers, but sometimes we're not doing okay and we're not going to say it. So keep checking on us, but don't always accept when we say I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't just accept it and let it ride when you know sometimes they're not good.
Well, sometimes you can say, what's good, right? Even if you don't have a first leading question of like, are you happy? Maybe it is naturally, right? Because we get into the habit of just saying, hey, how are you? Yeah. I was like, I'm doing good. Oh, okay, what's good? What's happening that's really good in your life right now? I want to hear more. And then that can trigger, okay, well, maybe it's not so great. Or you hear some great things. That was my like question when I was at homecoming reconnecting with people. Was like, hey, tell me what's going great in your life right now. And it was just really a better way to kind of connect and reconnect on a positive note and have people kind of share some really good things and interesting things,
Yeah, we got to remove the stigma that like needing support makes you weak. And I'm guilty of that. In relationships, I've had professional and personal where people who offer support and help, I'm like, I don't need your help. I'm good. I got it. And then I struggle and I put more work on me because I don't want help. So needing help and support doesn't make you weak.
So going back to one of our earlier episodes that we did, I really feel like my love language is acts of service just for that reason, because it helps my mental health. So I appreciate that extra. Just don't have me ask for it. Just do it. And I appreciate it. It just takes that little bit off my plate. Like, allow me to go this, and this, so we can have this and enjoy this, but I need you to do this.
Yeah. Listen, that's one of those things. I definitely can say, again, ladies or people in relationship with men, like, eliminating the decision fatigue goes a long way.
Yeah.
Goes a long way. It's an interesting conversation me and my partner have where there are certain places where I definitely am like, all right, I'll take the decision fatigue off. And then funny, like when it comes to places we want to eat or what we want to do, he'll be like, I want you to take
the little things.
I don't want to have to plan every day. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. He's like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, hey,
see,
hey, no. But
so that also means when you ask for the support, they take it, okay?
Right? Or just for us now, I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. Like I don't. Like, just you plan that, and I'll take the decision off of, like, we're going to a wedding. Hey, here's the dress I'm wearing, so wear this in your closet. Yeah. Or, hey, I already went ahead and got their gift. These are the places we can stay. What's the budget? Just getting some of those things off the plate where it's like, all right, we can take some of these.
Book the flights, book the hotels.
Exactly. Like, all right, we know what day it's on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like some of those things are easy to take off the plate. But,
well, this is a very important topic. I'm going to end on a stat that is not that great because I just want to drive home the point of how important men's mental health is. The suicide rates are 4 times higher for men than they are women. In 2024, there were 38,000, almost 39,000 male suicide deaths compared to 10,000 female suicide deaths.
That's so sad.
All suicide is bad, but men are struggling and don't feel like they have the ability to talk about it. And so they result to suicide. We have a friend who did commit suicide, so we understand that personally. So, it's a real thing out here. It's
really tough.
Yeah. So, men, we have our friendships, we have our therapy, we have our women, we have our friends, we have our family, we have our faith, we have therapy, we have journaling, we have exercise, we have so many ways to help.
And for those who don't have any of that, like, look up the numbers for help and find out how to get in local in your area 100%. Or in your state. The hotlines are there for you.
Yep.
But just do the research. Just go out there and get the help.
Yep. Go get help.
And don't feel ashamed about it.
Exactly. Yep. We're right there with you.
Do not feel ashamed about it.
All right. We love y'all.
All right. Yeah. Stay strong out there. Lean into a man in your life this week when you're listening and just help them cap off this month. Really well.
Yep. All right, y'all.
All right. Love y'all.
All right. Bye.